It's the comic review show with Captain Scouse. Welcome to another comic review show with me, Captain Scouse. Today we'll be reviewing a few Nick Fury comics. Now overall, when we look back at Nick Fury, we often think of him as a badass Samuel Jackson with an eye patch. However, in the comics it is not like that. Nick Fury started off as a Second World War soldier written in 1963 by Stan Lee, with Dick Ayers doing the artwork. Back then, Stan Lee wanted to make a comic book series with the goal of having the worst comic book title in history, but basing it around his time in the army during the Second World War. Instead, he came up with the name Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, where you got to meet other characters like Dun Dun Dugan along the way. With the comics in general, the first 79 issues were such a success that it started doing half prints from 1970 until 1974, and then full reprints from 1974 until 1981, with a total of 167 issues being made during its time. Some of the issues were great reads, giving you an insight to Sergeant Fury's missions in Eastern Europe and in Italy. There were even missions on the home front in Hell's Kitchen whenever he'd go and visit his own family. By 1968, Marvel wanted to change Nick Fury a bit, so they decided to get Jim Steranko involved to write a few new comics for them. So Jim decides to give Nick Fury a bit of a makeover, turning him from an old-fashioned soldier to a secret agent. At first, Stan Lee wasn't that happy with what Jim had come up with, so after he's seen it for the first time, he decides to look back and see what changes he could make. For instance, issue 5 from volume 1 was supposed to be the first ever issue of Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, Stan Lee disliked it so much it was pushed back to issue 5. Later on in 2017, Marvel decided to do a 6-issue one-shot of Nick Fury and Nick Fury Jr., with them both working together like father and son. Overall, I love delving into a character's history like Nick Fury. If, like me, you're used to seeing him being a badass with an eye patch, then you'll love his early versions of him as a character. From his fights with Bull McGivey, with the Howling Commandos, to his exploits as an early Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fighting the likes of Bullseye, it's nice to see how a character like that changes over time. So that's the end of this review. I've been Captain Scouse. If you've enjoyed this review, then do feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me further, you can do by following me over on Twitch, where I do more in-depth live comic reviews. Until next time, thank you for watching me, and stay tuned for further reviews.